Sometimes in life, you gotta ask yourself, why am I here? What is this all about? Is this even worth it? Is life worth all the struggle, the turmoil, the strife? But then, occasionally, not often, but occasionally, something happens, and it makes you realize, yes, the struggle is worth it. It's worth it for moments like these. Can you feel it? Breathe it in. Breathe it in, folks. I want you to really appreciate this moment. Because this is the moment where Tim Pool's audience of disgusting, reprobate, Nazi scumbag, loser assholes have turned on him all because he was not sufficiently capitulatory to the antisemitism of Kanye West on his Timcast IRL podcast. Literally, the entire comment section is nothing but seething hatred for Tim Pool and admonitions of Tim Pool and disgust with Tim Pool and love for Kanye and strong vows of support for Kanye's anti-Semitism. And I love this because, hey, Tim, this is the audience you cultivated, buddy. This is what your grift was all about. You know, all those views that you brag about having, every single one of them, worthless. You know why? Because they're not people of value. They're disgusting, anti-Semitic, Nazi losers. And now they hate your guts. Oops. Check it out, bro.
God is using me. He's breaking me down.
Oh, yeah, he's breaking you down, Kanye. That's true. God really does seem like he's breaking you on down.
Removing all of the, richest person, all of this, so I can serve him. And the more...
Oh, wait, is it God doing that, or is it the Jews doing that? It's a little bit of a shaky narrative here. I guess the Jews are God's chosen people, so God is using the Jews to deprive you of all your money and everything so that you can be broken down, so that you can be rebuilt as a great prophet or something, right? Yes, that seems to be what's going on. Either that or you're an idiot who's made a lot of really imbecilic statements that cost you a lot of money.
More and more of those things are taken away from me, the more I can be empty and be a vessel. And
yeah, your brain is empty.
Be able to be used. And right now it's like, you're not going to take... If we can't, you're not going to take my pain away, right? The Jewish people say, it's the Holocaust, this happened, and you can't say anything about it. We can't take their pain away. No one's going to denounce the fact that they tried to lock me up. That's what, because every time I'm just holding stride.
Ah, yes, the real victim in all of this. Poor Kanye. It's not like he had anything to do with his own downfall or anything. You know, he was just a blameless victim, just minding his own business when all of a sudden the evil Jews descended upon him and just decided to take everything away because they were jealous of his greatness. But it's all part of God's plan, so I guess ultimately it's okay.
And it's like, I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK because as I'm getting...
You're neither. You absolutely freaking idiotic fool. No.
Hosed down every day by the press, and financially I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it. Yeah,
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who is they though?
Who is they though? This is the moment. Prepare yourselves. Who is they though?
Can't say who they is, can we?
Press.
We can't say who they is. Ah, Tim won't say who they is.
I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking about.
It is them though, isn't it? I mean,
and there's Nikki Fuentes there too. Yeah, that little twerp is there too. Because apparently now Nick Fuentes has a permanent job as a Klingon to Kanye's butt cheeks. You know, he's like one of those turds that just won't drop into the toilet. He's just holding on to Kanye's booty for dear life and dear relevance.
Because because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018,
what do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about...
What do you mean it's not? And then Kanye at this moment,
You leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?
He's gone. I'll say it right now.
I'll say it right now. Yeah. I'll say it right now. You know what, Tim? You don't know it, but you just sunk your whole career, bro. You just sunk it like a battleship. Because this is the reaction from your audience right now to that little moment. Remember, this all happened. The scene you just watched unfold, everything that just happened because Tim Pool said, man, they've treated you unfair. And Kanye's like, who's they? And Tim's like, And Tim doesn't want to say, like, the Jews. Not even out of decency. Like, I wish I could tell you that this is like a moment of decency from Tim, but that would actually be a lie. This is not about decency. This is about advertisers. If Tim Pool felt like he could say, yeah, fuck the Jews, and still be able to, be sponsored by all of these like companies that, sponsor his podcast, if he could still go out there and get the credit card and whatever other sponsors he has to still put ads on Timcast IRL on Spotify and stuff, if he could still do that, then he would have no problem saying, oh yeah, the Jews, blah, 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 I hate them Jews. Right, guys? He'd have no problem because he has no morals, he has no ethics, he doesn't give a shit. But he can't say that because of advertisers. But so in this one instance, where he actually says something decent, where he actually does the right thing and doesn't double down on right-wing racist rhetoric, only because of ad dollars, by the way, not because out of any shred of decency in him. When he finally does that, just because he wouldn't agree to explicitly support Kanye West's anti-Semitism, Kanye West storms out. And instead of being called a little baby, a little crybaby by the audience of Tim Pool, their reaction is the exact polar opposite. Listen to this stuff. Imagine being Ye and explaining to someone how you just lost $2 billion in net worth, hundreds of millions in cash are frozen, and there was an effort to put you in jail, all by Jewish people simply because you said Jews have power. And Tim Pool cuts you off and says, nah, I don't see this Jewish power thing. They're all just individuals. Why do Ari Emanuel and Jonathan Greenblatt even have the ability to take away someone's entire net worth and life savings? So, like, just blatant, naked anti-Semitism, totally mischaracterizing the nature of Kanye's comments to just saying, like, Jews have power, which is pretty much a meaningless statement. And basically just saying that Tim Pool, because he pushed back against Kanye and said, hey, this is ridiculous, you're not being attacked by, like, all Jews as a cabal. There are maybe some individuals who might happen to be Jewish that are doing things against you. Maybe. I don't even think that's provable, but like they're doing things against you because you explicitly are saying racist things in public against their race. But, because that's happening to you, because you have suffered the financial repercussions of your own actions, this is proof that your anti-Semitism is correct. I mean, isn't this a wonderful little thing that the anti-Semitic idiots have cooked up where, a person goes out, speaks vile, disgusting slander against Jews, and then loses money because of it, and then they say, look, see, if you question the Jews, you lose money. Well, that would happen if you did that about any group in America. If you went out and said these things about black people, you would lose money, especially if you had lucrative deals. There's no way you're going to keep lucrative clothing deals and things of that nature if you're out there speaking these kind of disgusting things about black people or Asian people or any group of people. So the idea that this is some obvious proof of like a Jewish cabal working against Kanye is absurd. And, these people know it's absurd. They don't care. This to them is just about pushing anti-Semitic rhetoric. Tim blew the biggest interview in podcast history. Yes, Tim blew it by not just capitulating to Kanye. It's not Kanye's fault for storming out of the interview the moment he's disagreed with. Kanye straight up said he's not going to sit there and listen while you lecture about how the Jewish conspiracy isn't real. He told you he would walk out if that's where it went and you immediately took it there and were dumbfounded he walked out. Not saying walking out was mature, but don't pretend you didn't know it was going to happen. He literally said it 5 minutes prior. So what is the idea here? The idea here is that you should have known that Kanye West would leave the interview if you disagreed with him. I mean, like, what a baby. The idea that you're supposed to be sitting down for an interview with someone, but you're not allowed to disagree with the contentions in their interview. By the way, the very socially harmful, disgusting, racist connotations of the interview. Like, this, I want to make it clear. This video that I'm making right now, guys, is not about Tim Pool so much as it is about the disgusting, reprehensible, sickeningly stupid audience of racist Nazi pieces of shit that Tim Pool has cultivated. You know, this is why when people, like, man, you really fell off, TJ. You really lost a lot of people. Yeah, because I didn't want to court these stupid pieces of shit. I didn't want to court garbage like this. I would rather have one intelligent person who's like reasonable and not bigoted versus 1,000 of these, even if they are monetizable. Fuck this shit. I would never want scum like this in my fucking audience. If you agree with any of this, get the fuck out. Get lost. Go fuck yourself, you racist piece of shit. I don't want you. I don't need you. Go fuck yourself. Get fucking lost. Eat shit and die, motherfucker. Tim, did it ever occur to you that someone who is as deep in the industry as Kanye, for as long as him, just might know what's going on behind the scenes? Kanye West doesn't know what's going on in his own freaking head. He doesn't know what's going on anywhere at any time. He is clearly insane. The fact that there are this many people willing to vouchsafe for the insane delusions of a rambling lunatic is a sad statement about the idiocy that this country has fallen prey to, the idiocy that must be brutally excised from this country by any means necessary. Damn, Tim really fumbled on the important podcast this year. Should have never interrupted Nick when he was talking. Let the three of them go on. No, Tim never should have invited these pieces of crap on his show to begin with. And in fact, Tim shouldn't even have a show because, you know, this is the kind of audience that he's cultivated. And this, by the way, is exactly the fate that is deserved by these fence-riding, you know, disaffected liberal types. These people who want to go around calling themselves, I'm a disaffected liberal. You know, meanwhile, they tout every right-wing talking point under the sun. But then, when someone finally comes on their show that's willing to go mask off, and then Tim's not willing to go mask off because he still wants to keep his advertising revenue, you know, and then the audience sees, hey, wait, Tim's not one of us. He's not really one of us. And they all just slap on the jetpacks and just hit eject and leave the show. Now, granted, plenty of these people will be back to listen to more of Tim Pool's nonsense. I mean, an audience that's listened to Tim Pool this long clearly has no standards or taste. And also, by the way, just doesn't care about reality. Because like Tim Pool has proven time and time again, I call Tim Pool the reverse oracle because every single prediction he has ever made, every opinion he has ever had, every statement that he has ever put forth as fact, all of it has been wrong. He's never right. He is the reverse oracle. Everything he says is trash. Everything he says is garbage. And the one time that he finally said something even remotely approaching true, which was not even, he didn't even really say anything. He just basically refused to say something disgustingly racist. The one time that he says something even halfway decent, which is pushing back in the lightest possible terms against Kanye West's insanity, that's the thing that sinks him. Because even the faintest little hint of truth was like poison to these people. Was like poison to his disgusting audience of Nazi pieces of fucking shit. This is your audience, Tim. This is the audience you earned. This is the audience you deserve. And this is the audience that fucking hates your guts. At least for now. And good for them. Good for you. Good for me. What a joyous day. Oh, goody, goody, goody.
Have you seen it? The stupidity of the ones around you. rise up from the pit of destitute.